He'll bring it back from inside his spot. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. So Georgia's offense is on the field for the first time today. Last time these two rivals got together, guys, there were hurt feelings and some dead fish handshakes in the aftermath, and this might be just the recipe to cook up some revenge, Jesse.
Well, they're going to be motivated, that's for sure. The losing team, they have been hearing about that blowout loss now for a very long time. They had this game circled, David, all offseason, hoping to get that payback.
Oh, man, and you get all the quotes, all the people talking about all those blowhards on all the different networks, i.e. us, talking about how bad it was and how embarrassing it was, and now you get a chance to get some payback. They're excited.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Looking for a man. It's Baker. Going over the top. He's got it. They get him stopped at the 2, but it'll be first and goal.
He came into this year with big expectations. Everybody expecting him to stat it up. And now with that last completion, he's already over 2,000 yards passing for the season.
Georgia heads to the line with a first and goal. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Bulldogs!
Well, they wanted to turn the page after losing their last game. So how about you come out in this one? On the opening drive, you march the field 75 yards and put 6 on the board. You can't start a game better than that.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. The kickoff unit is out there, and boy, did that last drive quiet this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Volunteers offense will take the field for the first time. They are going to be greeted rather rudely, I guess, by a group of defensive linemen that wreak havoc and hunt down quarterbacks, Jesse.
And they wreck games. They take away everything you do offensively. So it's a huge challenge in this one, David, for this offensive coordinator to try to call plays and find ways to get the football away from these big fellas up.
Turning it on! They finally wrestle down the senior, but not before he picks up some valuable ground. The Vols moving quickly to the line.
And after giving up a long run defensively, they don't have a chance to substitute now. They've got to get ready to go because the offense is going tempo.
And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on first down, second down coming. Backed up now, here's second and long. Now the play fake. Pulls it in.
Good play by the defense. Way to wrap them up. Way to know where the sticks are. Now put you in a successful position for third down. Now you can break out the fun packages, the blitzes, putting more speed, more little fast guys in the field.
On third down, he drops the throw. Stands in and takes the hit. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a fourth down. And the Volunteers line up to punt it away. Getting our first look of the afternoon at the punter. Fields the punt and looking for daylight. They'll get him corralled and down at about the 19-yard line. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. He's past the 30. Still on his feet at the 45. Finally forced out of bounds. Maybe a step shy of midfield. They'll mark it at the 49. What perfect execution on that big run. Everything perfectly blocked, and this guy doesn't need a lot of room.
I love how this offensive line communicates and works.
Unloads it downfield. Touchdown, Georgia! They went for it all, and it paid off with the score.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee ready to go to work the Big Orange offense on the field. They haven't exactly burst out of the starting blocks, and they need to get something together with this possession. Pulls it in. It's Adams. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground cover to pick up the first. On the gun, the running back has it. And he surges up to the 36-yard line, and they'll move the chain. On first down, here comes this offense. Looking to throw on first down. Rush coming in hot, and they got him at the 29. It's no surprise at all to find a Georgia defensive lineman wreaking havoc in the backfield.
Nah, find those big, physical, aggressive dudes that can be physical enough to play the run in the SEC and then pin your ears back and go get quarterbacks. Georgia does that and finds those guys really, really often.
Got it in the middle. It's Wilson. Nifty little juke, and he's out to the 37 before he stopped. The Volunteers in the hurry-up. On third and long, trying to convert through the air. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. And the Vols will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Wants to return it. Really good job by the coverage team to make the stop, and that's where they'll put it in play. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They put 2 touchdowns on the board in the early going, and now right back to work. They'll crank up this drive from the 30-yard line. Back to pass, it's Baker. He'll throw it down. He's going to be able to pick up a few yards before the slide.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats, but when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Give to the running back. Works his way to the 41, and that is plenty to give him a first down. They are letting the big dogs eat on the ground.
Pound, pound, pound. The dog pound. Run the football, be physical. You can go back when Vince Dooley won a championship. Herschel Walker. You go all through the names. So many great running backs that run with an edge that are dogs.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. We've reached the break, and Georgia is on top. They largely dominated this first quarter as indicated by the stats. To the air on second down. Caught over the middle. It's Moore. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
And I love when my quarterback sees zone and knows exactly where to go with the football. Sees the wide receiver running the drag route, knows when to throw it, pulls the trigger for the easy position.
The noise reverberating off the checkerboards and kneeling on third down. They'll try to get the first through the air. Active hands from the defense forcing that incomplete pass.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. Third down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down.
And it's aggressive, right? You're in your own territory, going for it on fourth down, and it can be scary to think about if you don't get it. You set them up with good field position. But I like trusting your offense, knowing you can go out there and get the first down.
Looking to throw, it's Baker. Oh! Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense has it, they're on the move. He is loose now. Touchdown! The defense putting points on the board.
You practice these moments as a defense, but you never know when they're going to come to fruition. But how about it? The scoop, the ball's on the turf. They scoop it up. They take it to the house. The defense takes care of business. It's an offense. We don't need to. We'll put points on the board.
Lining up for the PAT. And after the extra point, they cut the lead at half, down 14-7. The scoop and score. What a lift it can give to the defense. Not content to get the ball. They wanted to do something with it, and they did. He'll start the return inside his 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. The offense will have to use its first timeout of the half. All wideouts, no bats. Wants to throw on first down. Makes the grab. Powers through the defender. And he slips the first defender and picks up a handful of yards. And the Dogs can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Wants to throw. It's Baker. And it's incomplete, but the penalty flag has fallen in the holding zone. Let's see what the call is. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Now on second down. Wants to go up top. Got his man. He gets it up close to the 25. Out of bounds. They'll mark it at the 24.
And a really nice job on the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You can tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. Swings it out to the flat. Really strong job by the defense. A negative play on third down. On 4th and 7, analytics, gut feel, or maybe just wanting to keep the offense out there. They'll go for it. Snagged in the middle. It's Moore. At midfield, he's got Moore. Hits the accelerator to the right. And he just kept running, and he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Dogs!
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point puts them on top 21-7. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here is the Tennessee offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick.
Intercepted, the defense has set him up. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. No midseason concentration lapse here in Week 7 as they push out that lead. Look, a lot of time left. There's a little bit of distance right now being put on the scoreboard.
There is, but it's so awesome when you're a defense and you study all week about what's coming and what routes to be ready for, and then you jump the route and you make the plays and you just go get in that end zone. It is so beautiful.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. The Vols want to move quickly.
Defense came into this one knowing they were going to see some tempo. They've got to get the ball from the side.
Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win 1st and 2nd down. You set up 3rd and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody in the back end expecting throw. And that's how you force incompletions and force 4th downs.
Fields to punt and try to pick up some yards. Makes a move. Really nice job all the way around. Got a few blocks, made a couple of moves, and a good return on that one before he's pushed out of bounds. So first play of the drive coming here from their own 49. Wide receiver comes in motion. Looking to pass. It's Baker. He lofts it high and deep down the left side. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Georgia.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this offense hasn't had everything go right.
Intercepted our first half. Turnover can swing momentum. Got room on the return. Touchdown, Dogs! What momentum you get when the defense comes up with a play like that. Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Tennessee ready to go to work. The Big Orange offense on the field. These guys have taken some body blows in the first half, but now a chance to do something to feel a little better going into halftime.
Reese, they got to respond now. They got to put points on the board right here, cut into this deficit, create a little bit of momentum, because this one's going to get out of hand otherwise.
Yeah, there are a lot of offenses out there that might just say, okay, let's just regroup and figure it out. This offense doesn't have time to do that. They've got to be aggressive. They've got to throw it downfield. They've got to score points.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. On target over the middle. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. The offense sets up shop at the 46 on first down. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line? And the Volunteers want to pick up the tempo. Second down, they'll go to the air. He's going to take off. Got to protect the merchandise. Gets down without taking a hit. Let's see what they do here on third and short from the 41. From the gun, wants to pass. Connection to the right. Down at the 16-yard line, and they're threatening to score in the waning moments of the half. They flexed out that tight end a little bit, and you know the tight end's always open.
Always open. Quarterback's best friend. And this guy's a problem, Reese. He's a matchup problem because he's too big for DBs to cover, and he's too fast for linebackers to cover. He's showing you his athleticism there.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Operating in the red zone here on second down. Back to throw, time running short in the half. They get enough rush, and it pays off. The sack at the 20.
And they've been waiting for something good to happen with respect to getting after the quarterback, right? They're outside of the top 100 in the country in sacks per game, but finally now,
to the end zone, and it's picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
and if you're the quarterback, you might want to stop throwing that guy's way. I mean, you knew coming into this game, David, he's one of the best corners in the entire country. He's already been picked off twice now. He is literally living in this quarterback's head rent-free.
And so nice to have a guy like this that can cut off half the field, because now you can put resources elsewhere. He's proven if you try me, bad things are going to happen.
Back to throw, it's Baker. Unloads to the wideout. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete. It would have been a high-level play, but it's a play this quarterback expects to be able to make when he has a guy open.
And these quarterbacks start practicing and doing 7-on-7 and having quarterback coaches when they're like 7 years old, 8, 9 years old now. So even when they don't have wide receivers, you still expect them to fit that ball in there and make it happen.
On third and long, he has to throw for it. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Man, great energy in that building. There always is when these two get together. And a fun first half between these rivals.
Georgia will kick it deep to start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So here is the Tennessee offense. Nothing went right in that first half in the first order of business here. Try not to be embarrassed any further.
But the comeback is possible. Remember 2006, Michigan State down 35 to Northwestern at halftime? They somehow came back and won the game. But it all starts on one play, and that has to happen here on this first drive of the offense.
Yeah, the first possession, because your possessions, you're only going to get so many possessions, and you've got to score on every single one of them. Offense, defense, special teams have to play out of their mind, but they have to believe.
To the air on first down. And the defense forced that incompletion with the deflection.
This is a situation here in the third quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Caught near the sidelines. He'll pick up a few before going out of bounds. The Volunteers decide to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. They'll get him down at the 21-yard line. The coverage team able to stop him right there. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. Sends it back in motion. Trying to seal the edge on the right. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Bulldogs can really attack on this second and short. Trying to get the edge on the jet sweep. They finally get a hold of him, knocking him down behind the line of scrimmage. He had been running wild.
Well, the defense was trailing going in at halftime, and I think they made some adjustments against the run. They want to slow this guy down. That's a really nice start to the second half if you're on defense.
To the air, it's Baker. Caught close to the marker, it's Williams. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays. You better change your looks up and try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30.
He's been a matchup problem all season long. Defenses just don't know how to solve the puzzle. And with that last catch, over 500 yards receiving now on the year for him.
Throws for the tight end. Got his man downfield. Touchdown Bulldogs. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Gentlemen, want to jump in and let you know what's going on in this top 25 showdown. Texas Tech is currently ahead in this one. The Jones is just jam-packed today, but the Scarlet and Black have struggled to really pull away. They're up by 11 over ULM. We'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should know about in this one, the Big 12, or anywhere else. Men?
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on out there. Makes the catch. It's Adams. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. And the ball's in a good spot here with second and short. Off play action. Fires to the middle. Got him downfield. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. Line gets set. First down. He's got the tight end. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be first down. The Vols come to the line with a new set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. He's got an open man. He's brought down the run of play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. And the Volunteers have pushed it inside the 20. Puts it up the air. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score. Going to work on second down in the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. from the gun, the ground game. He had all kinds of company as soon as he got it. He had to fight his way back just to get to the line of scrimmage. Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. Off the RPO, complete. And just couldn't find any room, and he wound up throwing it in reverse. They lost yardage.
Man, this defense just has so much speed. You saw it on that third down play. The offense is trying to get a quick one, see if they can get a block and maybe spring a guy free, but the pursuit, wow, that was so good defensively.
Just drives it between the uprights. And the field goal is good. They get 3 on the board, but it really doesn't matter much in terms of the deficit. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They're starting this drive with a massive lead, and they just want to finish strong. Extra blockers on the field. Offense goes full house. Leaves it with the back. Out of the crowd, and now he's got room. There he goes. He's now up to 66 yards on the ground, and what a season he's having. It's almost certainly going to be a 1,000-yard campaign. With the first down, they'll put it in play from the 33. Right back to the well. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. And he's brought down after a nice gain. First and 10 as the clock winds under a minute to go here in the third quarter. They'll leave it with him. Finding open areas. There he goes. Out of bounds at the 24-yard line after the huge pickup.
You know, in the modern era of college football, with everybody throwing it, it becomes harder and harder for running backs to put up big-time numbers. With that last carry, though, this guy's got 1,000 yards rushing on the season.
Dances away to buy time. Just keeps moving. He rolls all the way down to the 5-yard line before they finally get him stopped. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. Quarterback running on the draw. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Really nice job by the safety on that play, deep in their own end. They were ready for the quarterback run, and he was spying him the entire time. As soon as he saw the QB take off, he was able to rally to him.
Touchdown, Georgia! And they take it in for 6 more points. They add on another one, and they're about to push their record to 5-1.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called guys offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. The Volunteer offense is back, and they hope it's touchdown time in Tennessee. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now,
picked off. What a way to set him up. Touchdown, Dogs. This defense making a big play and putting it in the end zone. As they push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column.
And this has been the story of the game. Everything going their way. Offensively, special teams, and now on defense here in the fourth quarter. They're still being aggressive. They're still jumping these throws. And he picked that thing off and took it all the way to the house.
Tennessee ready to go to work. The Big Orange offense on the field. The big thing now don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake. Obviously, the defense took advantage of it, but you got to put it behind you. Jesse, I'm sure you know a thing or two about throwing a pick six and how to rebound.
I believe I've only thrown one in my life, but yes, I do because of that singular instance. I'll say this. You can't let that play beat you twice. You got to go out, not try to get it all back here in one play. Just execute the offense.
It's complete to the left. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short game there.
You just get the feeling this defense is going to make it hard on them, right? They've got the lead. It's late, and they're going to try to tackle everybody inbounds. Offense is going to have to really work for this and be smart. You got to attack the sidelines. You got to throw first down. You got to keep this thing moving vertically down the field.
Oh, and what a move. What a juke, and he makes it past the mark. The Volunteers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw, it's Cameron. Setting up the screen. At 45 on its way. Big play for this offense as they get it to the 32.
This has been a frustrating day. They haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on second down. They'll run it out of the shotgun. Got enough for the first. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
I think it's just too little too late, David, at this point. That's a play that they could have used a lot earlier in this game, but because of miscues, they're down by a lot late, and I don't think they're going to have enough time to claw back into this one.
Yeah, and I'm fine with you running it if you want to do that. My goal now is with this lead, if you want to run it, so be it, but just don't give up the big plays. Let that clock continue to roll. Make him earn it all the way down the field and take a lot of time off that clock.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it.
We've seen throughout the course of the season, defenses have had their hands full with this quarterback. He's simply one of the best in the country. But what can you say about this defense here today? They have gotten after him, registering multiple sacks, and they've never let him get into a rhythm.
And they cut into this lead a little bit, but man, it's still a huge deficit. And they're going to need their defense to get a stop in this fourth quarter and get the ball back quickly, still down by a good bit of points.
And he takes this from inside the 5. And he'll be brought down after a solid effort on that return. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
It's been great execution. They've done exactly what they wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
They keep it on the ground. Clock is their friend. Finds his way for 3 after the 33.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
And I'm a fan of this, man. Run the football, eat the clock. We got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, man. Like just balance, rhythm, timing, play calling, everything has worked. That's why they built this lead. They had a great day today.
An explosive play in the running game as he's got the first down.
How about that? You got the lead late in the game. Get some first downs. Salt this clock away. This is the exact position you want your offense in.
Imposing their will, right, David? I mean, we know we're running it. You know we're going to run it. We're trying to ice this game. There's nothing you can do to stop it.
Doing some serious work on the ground. Out of bounds at the 35 after that big run. And the Bulldogs pounded the rock to move the sticks. Now back to work. Finds the tight end.
And this defense continuing to struggle with the passing game. Listen, these offenses are so sophisticated nowadays. They're hard to stop, man. And it's a new one every single week. And I say this game, this defense underperformed. They're better than what they've shown. They've gotten torched today. And this is a team that they're going to want to burn and never watch again.
This is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them. And you saw a great effort on that last play.
Breaks it open. That will be the final play as they make the stop.